Welcome into a live edition of the KC Laboratory presented by Emprise Bank, member FDIC. It is Kent Swanson, Maddie Lane, and Craig Stout all with you on a Wednesday. Ready for it, guys? Game preview edition.
Oh, man. Let's go.
Let's go.
Big game. It's the big one. It's the one we often refer to as the big one.
The big one. The biggest one against one of the teams fighting for the 1 seed. Chiefs Titans in Nashville. And Maddie Lane and Craig Stout are here to help me break it down. Matthew Lane, how are we feeling today?
We're feeling, right? Actually, let's call a spade. We have fully moved on to the NFL draft. We have fully turned the corner. So you know what? We're doing all right. We're doing okay. This game preview is gonna be interesting. We're gonna see how this has to go. But yeah, I'm doing pretty good. The draft is going. Been watching a lot of videos of goats running along mountain peaks today. For some reason, it just hit the algorithm, and I was like, "Oh, this is fun." So just gonna watch goats run along mountains. It's pretty cool. So we're doing
Tell me
good.
more about Caleb Downs.
Well, you see, he plays the least important goat position. He is in the middle of the pack. He neither leads nor trails, but he's very good at mountain climbing. However, because of his lack of premium slotting in the goat line, I don't know how early you would take him in a draft.
Yeah. Would he solve a problem in the goat herd that's kind of located along the Kansas-Missouri border, Maddie? Would that be something? I know there's not a ton of mountains there, so maybe not quite the right fit. But yeah,
here's the crazy thing about goats. They can run on mountain peaks, but they also work pretty well on flat ground too. It's wild, I know. So yeah, he probably could handle the plains of Kansas City. It is windy there, but he could probably handle the plains. Yeah, I think he would fit in quite well in the herd in Kansas City / maybe Kansas in the future. Who knows? Get those clicks in though.
Chill. Dude, we're not trying to start that conversation today.
Why not? There's nothing else to talk about.
Craig, how are we doing?
Oh, we're doing great. I just got to hear one of my pals compare an Ohio State safety to a mountain goat for 2.5 minutes. So I'm doing awesome. I hope that this is the hard pivot that we are about to take in draft coverage. The KCSN Goat Guide. I'm on board with it. I'm coming back to write for it if that's what it is. It's all going to be nonsense, but yeah, no, I'm doing great. Doing great, fellas.
It's a 5-bet recruit out of the Alps.
Okay, that was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it wasn't.
I want to not like it, but I do.
No.
Okay, we should probably get started. I don't know. There's just no way to transition from that. There's just nothing you can do except for do this, ladies and gentlemen. The segment that is sweeping the nation. And Craig Stout this week is fully prepared for. 7 minutes with Craig Stout. Tucker, hit the music.
Man, it feels weird to be doing one of these when the Kansas City Chiefs have been eliminated from the NFL playoffs. Since I've been podcasting with these two fine gentlemen, I have never not podcasted about this football team anything short of AFC Championship weekend. It is now December 17th. Kansas City Chiefs are eliminated from the playoffs. The injury report for the game that we're going to talk about here in a little while is 1.5 miles long. I mean, it's pretty bleak around here, and it should be. That was a dog shit game that we just watched the Kansas City Chiefs play. I want to do just a play that's kind of a microcosm of the entire year, and it's the play that Rashee Rice got hurt on, came back in the game, but now has a concussion. So Yikes, please don't look at that too closely, NFL. But it's a slant route. This is a simple play that they've got lined up here. It's not an RPO because Patrick Mahomes motions. It's actually an empty formation. Motions Kareem Hunt out to the right. Ends up being, it ends up being strong. It's a 4-by-1 situation with Rashee Rice, the only guy to that side of the field. And it's a decent, kind of look here. They're trying to get the ball out quickly. You've got Esapole, you've got Chu Godric on the field there. You can't protect Patrick Mahomes at the moment. I get it. I get why you run this play. The only problem is Tony Jefferson's seen this play on tape about, 40 times at this point. We've seen this so many times. I saw so many people after this, not that Patrick Mahomes is blameless and, the way that the season has gone or anything like that. But I've seen so many people that were just like, man, Patrick really must not like Rashee after all those drops. Man, this is a single read. This is a play that's going to Rashee Rice the entire way. Tony Jefferson knows it. He never takes a step backwards. He barely stays on his heels for half a second after the play because he knows exactly what's coming. Because Jesse Minter, whoever the secondary coach over there in Los Angeles is right now, I haven't looked it up, they all have seen this play on tape countless times to the point where they know exactly where it's going. Microcosm of all this. Rashee Rice ends up getting, hurt in this play. It's a big hit. It's a clean hit on that play. Tony Jefferson gets disqualified a little bit later in that drive, whatever on that play. But this is just what the Chiefs' offense was. If you're a defensive coordinator going up against Andy Reid, let's call it 4 years ago, 5 years ago, you're looking at that and you're crapping your pants. It's Patrick Mahomes. It's all these dynamic weapons. Travis Kelce in his prime, Tyreek Hill. Everything's working. And then on top of that, you get Andy Reid calling plays that have wrinkles off them, different motions, different situations, different releases that get the look that you want to see. And it was terrifying as a defensive coordinator to have to go up against that every single week. It's why we saw teams pull out all the stops on the other side of the ball, going for it on fourth down, just trying literally everything that they could. Outside of Lou Anaromo, they really didn't figure out how to do it unless the Chiefs' offensive line was decimated. You watch this football team this year, and it just seems like it's a paint-by-numbers scheme that every defensive coordinator in the league has it figured out. It is, I say it all the time, there are no layups. There are no easy buttons to hit. And in a game where they had to have it, they've had to have it for 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks now. They have. That's the honest truth here. But this was the one, if they lose this, it's over. All the rest of the results did not break their way. They have to do this. What are they doing? They're out here running the same stuff that they have all year long. The defensive coordinators got to tee off on all year long. There is no greater indictment of this offensive coaching staff than watching these safeties just completely disregard any route distribution, anything that they've got to try and track down the field and just say, oh, I know exactly where this play is going, and be right over and over and over again. Andy Reid and this offense used to put clown suits on all kinds of players, all kinds of good defensive coordinators. It happened regularly. Jesse Minter's good defensive coordinator. Not going to lie. He's not as good as Andy Reid made him look, but it's because he's calling the same stuff that he always has. They have to do something. They have to change something. And it's why when we hear Andy Reid and a presser on Monday say, well, the guys that are still going to be here, we're going to have to work that out after the season. The guys that are still going to be here. I hear that pretty loud. So let's see who those guys are, what significant change they're going to make here, because it's just abundantly clear now. You watch this team for very long, you see the problem lies not just with the execution. That's a problem as well. Not going to absolve all the players of this, but man, this scheme makes it to where these players have to play perfect to move the ball against, frankly, a just fine defense that looked like superstars on Sunday.
The Chargers defensive back's name, as I'm going to try to say this very carefully, is Steve Clinkscale. Okay, I just don't want to go anywhere else.
I have seen that name around. Yeah,
Steve. Anyhow, so yeah, that play is I mean, it's what we've been talking about. This isn't probably the right form to break into what the issue overall is with the Chiefs offense all over again, how everybody knows it's coming. They kind of do the same stuff over and over again. It's all these short passes that are trying to stretch everything horizontally, and teams are very much catching on to that. And I think modern defense is doing a very good job despite disguising their coverage. And when you're trying to hit these quick plays, stuff's not always open exactly when you want it to be all the time. You don't necessarily have the talent that is consistent at getting open all the time you want it to. And so it looks clunky. I think a bigger, even like the next step off of that, like even beyond the structural and the foundational issue of that, is this team doesn't hit enough explosives. So like your entire team is built around marching down the field with perfect execution. And that's cool. They did it in 2022. They mostly did it in 2023, despite having one of the worst wide receiver rooms you've ever seen. But like they weren't constantly shooting themselves in the foot with turnovers that weren't tipped or with terrible, terrible pass protection. Right. And they still had a somewhat effective run game in 2023. So like there was a stretch where this style of offense worked for them. But guess what? Defenses adapted. They said, oh, you're going to try to march on the field. We're going to give you zero of these opportunities to break any big plays. We're not going to let you catch and run. We're just going to let you catch and then tackle you and then catch again and tackle you. And now the onus is on you to have a 14-play drive, get into the red zone, execute, and actually put 7 up on the board. Oh, by the way, anytime during that you give up a sack, have a drop, have a, God forbid, a penalty, your drive is over because you have nothing to actually pick up chunk yardage at this point in time. And so just like how they want to attack teams, not even the structure or the scheme, but their philosophy on how to attack teams with this hyper efficient thing just isn't working as defenses kind of change their identity. Like that's fine. We will give that up to you every single time and we will be in position to stop it. So yeah, this game was a great example of that because not only did they stop it, they were destroying poor Rashee Rice over and over again because once again, until Thornton got going, Rashee Rice is the only guy that like can get him and Travis Kelce are the only guys that can get open. And Travis Kelce is just not moving in the spaces where he's going to get lit up or it would probably come for him too.
And I think it's funny you kind of see the evolution because the Chiefs set the world on fire with all the explosives. And then you talk about like forcing and then the drive and all this stuff. That was necessitated because people were sick of all the explosives. But the evolution of this has gone from like often soft, everything in front of you, try to tighten up in the red zone and give a field goal to, oh, they don't have any playmakers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem because it used to be like you could do the efficiency game and the Chiefs were ruthlessly efficient in 2022.
Yep.
2022.
Yes.
That was the Juju year. Yeah.
That was, yep.
Ruthless efficiency, moved on from Tyreek and ruthless efficiency. But then they didn't have anybody that could run through, and then they didn't have, like you said, like they don't even really have anybody that could break tackles anymore. So the next logical evolution is to start throwing the ball over their heads again. But they still have the personnel that's capable of doing it right now. They've just been terrible at it. It's because they haven't done it for 5 years.
But you got Tyquan Thornton, you got Xavier Worthy, you got Hollywood Brown, 3 guys that on paper, I don't disagree with what you're saying, but on paper,
do they have Hollywood Brown? Anyways,
they did. Anyway, on paper, those guys should be able to get vertical. Like that's the purpose. It's why you draft Xavier Worthy. It's why you have Tyquan Thornton around here. And while they at least tried with Tyquan Thornton, we just didn't see that. Yeah, we can chalk it up to Xavier Worthy injury and stuff like that. But like after Xavier Worthy got hurt, did they just delete all of the vertical plays out of the playbook for him? No, they didn't. They certainly didn't. So I don't get what the approach was. I completely agree with you. They didn't have the personnel, didn't feel comfortable running it. But why? Why does that happen? Is that a coaching thing? Is that I'm not sure.
I think they I dropped this late in the lab on Monday. I think they have to overhaul how they get into their deep passing game, because
Sure.
like some of the play action half roll, deep drop, like I think the timing sucks on it.
Mhm.
I think they need to get under center and, you know, turn your back to the defense, play action, hitch, throw, and it doesn't feel like the timing is consistent with the vertical passing game right now across the board. That's just my
I think
opinion.
I think the bigger issue in the vertical passing game, I like how we've just devolved into this because this is probably more important than previewing the Titans game. I think the bigger issue than just the vertical passing game is there's zero intermediate passing game. So if you're gonna the deep game, I agree, is struggling, but if you have no threats over the intermediate area of the field, all you're going to get is all your underneath defenders, all your hook defenders are going to be bailing deeper and deeper. They're just going to continue to get into that intermediate area. And any safety is not going to get pulled down into that area and allow things to get up over their heads. So the Chiefs have gotten to this weird spot where you watch other teams, right? They create this vertical pull where a safety has to come crash on a 15-yard play over the middle of the field. A corner or a quarters like corner, a cover 4 corner has to come and handle some kind of out route, and that opens up a deep corner over it, a kind of go route or a seam route over the top for either one of those things. The Chiefs don't have that in their arsenal. Their vertical passing game is essentially shot plays. It is, they do try to go under center and run these deep play action plays, but if you watch it, it's one guy deep and one guy at 10 yards and nothing in between, and then maybe a running back in the flat, and everybody else is in max pass pro. So it's just the stuff doesn't boil down together, and I think their inability to threaten anything in 10 to 20 yards makes them really easy to defend. If a receiver runs past 10 yards, guess what? He's going deep. Right? If he doesn't go past 10 yards, he's not. It makes it pretty easy for any deep coverage player to figure out what's happening. You either have a fast guy that doesn't run great routes, and I want to give a slight hat tip to Tyquan Thornton. I actually think he's pretty good at running deep routes. Like, he does a pretty good job, but like, people see him run past 10 yards and they immediately know it's a deep route. There's nothing else coming. Now, this Chargers game was a good example of, hey, maybe he can do a little bit more. Maybe they should have used him, I don't know, anytime the rest of the season on those types of things. But nonetheless, there's no threat. There's no threat anywhere else on the field. It's either here's our West Coast quick, short, one step drop, quick balls out, or we're trying to push the ball 40 yards downfield. They have nothing in between those two things. And I think that is where it doesn't work, because the deep game isn't tied to anything else. It's deep game or West Coast offense short game. There is nothing in between those two. And it's just, I don't know, they've made it really hard to live in that world when they also can't run.
And I think sadly, I think some of this can be tied to the deterioration of Travis Kelce, because I do think that there were some areas of the field that he had more success. There's a couple of things that I think, because like the intermediate stuff, but also like we talked about, like guys, like his inability to make anyone miss over the last couple of seasons goes a long way too. There's someone that's decided to throw a clip of Mahomes to Kelce up every day until they run out, which is awesome. But man, I know, right? A little sad.
Yeah,
a little sad.
It is. But like you say that, but we go ahead.
Well, let me finish the thought, and then you can whatever. That wasn't where I was stopping. That would be a really funny point. And another point. There's clips of it. You can go look. No, no, but just watching him and how he used to be able to, work after the catch, man, it's just such a stark difference than what we've seen in the past. So the deterioration of that and his presence in the middle field and how he can be used, and like, yeah, he can still catch the football, he just can't do anything with it afterwards. And I think that's where it's like, man, they really missed that too.
Yeah, but like the team has to know that, right? I mean, like he's a 36-year-old tight end. Like, I mean,
yeah,
he got himself in good shape this year too. Like, I'm not even looking at Travis and be like, oh man, yeah, no, the drops for sure. Not try to like gloss over that, but he legitimately went, I am going to try and get myself in the best shape that a 36-year-old tight end could possibly get in, especially one that has played basically a full season's worth of games in my career, the more than a normal 36-year-old tight end. And they went, yeah, that's probably a good idea to run that back after watching him last year. I just don't know. I struggle with that. You're not wrong again, but once again, how do you get to that conclusion? How do you get to that? That's where I'm struggling the most after the Chiefs are missing the playoffs. so many of these flaws seemed pretty evident from the get-go. But I don't know.
There's one piece of context there, and it's a question I want to ask both of you right after this break.
I'm Brett Goodwin, one of the owners of The Learning Tree. The Learning Tree is a neighborhood toy store in Prairie Village, Kansas. This has been here in this location since 2000s, and my husband Alan and I purchased the store in 2023. Alan and I grew up in families where we've always wanted to have a business together. Alan grew up, for instance, his parents had a jewelry store. I worked in a local toy store here in Prairie Village when I was growing up. When this opportunity happened in 2023, we knew right away we wanted to contact them and pursue the store. We wouldn't have been able to get the store without the team at Emprise Bank. From the day we contacted them, they knew what we needed to do, which was very helpful. I would absolutely recommend the team at Emprise Bank to anyone looking to secure a business. We worked with Emprise from day one. They were extremely helpful. They were always great resources. We talk to them frequently. They know the area. They're very friendly. We know who we're going to talk with, and they know what we need to do. We hope we'll see you at the Learning Tree.
Missouri, your moment is finally here because DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is now live in your state. Now you can make every game even more exciting with same-game parlays, money lines, props, and more, all from your phone, all safe, secure, and easy to use. Missouri fans know game day. The tailgates, the noise, the passion. Now with DraftKings Sportsbook, you can bring that same energy to every snap, every touchdown, every win. And right now, new Missouri customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. No waiting, no nonsense, just pure action powered by America's top-rated sportsbook app. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code KCSN. New Missouri customers bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. That's code KCSN. The crown is yours. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, physically present in Missouri. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Craig, I agree with you that the Chiefs should have saw that the 36-year-old tight end probably wasn't going to have the same after catch ability and probably wasn't going to be the same guy. And I'll actually go on to say they knew because like Travis Kelce's better this year than he was last year. But I think the failure of this team, and I think there's an organizational failure here. So I'm not going to let Maddie get out and just blame Brett Veach for this, even though I do think there's some truth to that, is that the skill players let this team down. Just flat out. The skill players let this team down. Rashee Rice let this team down. Xavier Worthy let this team down. Hollywood Brown let this team down. The Chiefs banked on this group in a big, meaningful way because they needed them to ascend. Because I don't think they knew what they're getting in Travis. I mean, they got a better version of Travis this year than they did last year. So I mean, they were in surplus with Travis. My question to you is what skill player disappointed this team the most in 2025? Which one is the most, which one's regression, which one's struggles has been the biggest problem for this organization in 2025?
Do I get to reuse Kadarius Toney? I feel like there was enough disappointment there to last for multiple seasons, even ones that he wasn't on the team. No,
I'll allow it. That's one less Maddie answer.
It is one less Maddie answer. I mean, oh man, I'm gonna say Rashee.
It's tough.
I am gonna say Rashee. I know what Maddie's gonna say, so I'm putting that one on the tee for him there. I'm gonna say Rashee. I get that he was suspended. There's only so much that you can do with not having practice time and all of that. But where's the route tree? Where's the development? Where's the next step? This team wanted to force feed Rashee Rice a ton of targets. They did. I mean, not wanted to. They did force feed him a ton of targets. The drops were still there. That is something that we're going to be dealing with Rashee Rice for a little bit here. That's just not going to go away. It's more of the fact that you're still running just slants and hitches and drags. Like that's it. Where's the rest of it? And it could be that that's all that's in the playbook for him. That could be on the coaching staff. It may not be on him there, but take the next step. You're in year 3. Take the next step in this offense. Try and do something a little bit more. We rag on Andy all the time for calling mesh 42 million times a game. Is that just because he doesn't have another man beater in his arsenal? Or is it because it's the only thing that he can trust his offense to run? And I have a lot of questions about these weapons. I want to see him with a different position coach and see if some of that develops a little bit more, but I'll go with Rashee.
Wow. Where to start? There's so many options. I mean, like, I'm not gonna throw a single player under the bus. I think it's silly to throw a single player under the bus. It's the types of players that they go after. I mean, this isn't a Brett Veach thing. This is just an everybody thing, right? It's the type of players. There's only so many spots on a roster for guys who run straight into open space and catch the ball, turn and run again, right? And you can't build your entire offense out of that. And have they been trying though. And it's clearly not working anymore, right? Like, that's the issue. Like, do I think Xavier Worthy took 0 steps forward and in fact took steps back this year? Yeah, but he was injured. So, hey, maybe the injuries caused him from doing that. 140-pound wide receivers will probably get injured a lot, but hey, that's neither here nor there. Rashee Rice, did he let them down? Sure, he dropped a bunch of passes, but it's not like he had great hands at SMU. He can make great catches, but it's not like we didn't know that he was a guy with drop issues going into this year. And yeah, the suspension. Hey, it's not like we didn't think Rashee Rice was a model citizen coming out of the draft. So once again, it's the type of players that you're looking for that are the issue. But I'm not mean just those things. I think it's a bigger issue on field that everybody you go after is go to space, we'll throw you the ball, then you turn and run. They don't try to bring in anybody that can't. The one guy who actually ran the most good and real routes is Hollywood Brown. And who knows where he is now, but he also lost all of his speed after all of his injuries. Like, that guy out there is running a 4.6 nowadays. And when you're 172 pounds running a 4.7, that is kind of tough. But he's the only guy that could run routes. He's the only guy that could understand the process of creating leverage, attacking leverage, when to make breaks, how to press DBs into positions they don't want to be in. Rashee, Xavier Worthy, Noah Gray don't understand that, like, at all. That's not part of who they are as route runners right now. And that could be the coaching staff, but also look at them in college. Like, that's the kind of guys they want. So that's the issue. That's who let them down, is the type of one, not just the specific players.
I told you not to blame Brett Veach, and then you blame Brett Veach.
He didn't blame Brett. He never said Brett Veach.
I'm blaming Andy just as much as Brett Veach. I'm blaming Nagy. Kind of like, it's everybody, who the collective that wanted that type of players, which yes. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that if you just gave Brett Veach a mythical team to get receivers, he wouldn't only pick that type of receiver. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Andy probably has a pretty good pull on the type of guys he wants to run mesh with.
I love that. I also really love how people hung on the whole thing, the quote from Veach, or the basically the behind the scenes stuff, that it was like, yeah, Brett Veach maybe, was kind of leaning on some coaches' choices there. Guys, it's okay. Like, we don't have to blow that up. Yes, of course the coaches have input as to who they want to pick there. Now, do they have too much? That's a different argument there, but people were starting to be like, oh man, no, it's terrible. The coaches are picking players. Guys, look at Steve Spagnuolo's preferences. Look at the types of players that they tried to draft there. It's not like Brett Veach went, oh, well, now all of a sudden these are my preferences too, and I'm solely going to make these. No, they consult with the coaches. It's part of the give and take relationship. Now, if there's more take on one side, and that's why it's coming out, yeah, let's have that discussion. But don't just be surprised because the coaches had some input to draft picks. Of course they do.
Well, and I mean, there's a public-facing example of this in the last 12 months. His name is Josh Uche.
They were about to do it with Boye Mafe.
I know. That's the other thing.
Hey, he fits. He oddly fits.
Yes.
I thought he was a mid fit.
I'm pretty sure he hit everything. Maybe
I thought he was a
arms were
little
attached.
light.
I thought he was short armed.
He might be like a 32.5-inch arm, but he hit the weight and he's the height. So like he was now he doesn't play like it at all.
And
No.
he plays in a 2-point stance.
But he's at
and-
very least a mid fit, and like that's not an issue. Sorry.
So I think there's probably some credence to all of this, and there's a public facing example of it.
32 and 5/8 inch arms. So yeah.
And
Yep,
I will
there
just
you go.
say, if you kind of look at, and you can look at it historically too, like you can tell exactly who wins if it's playing out like that. You're telling me Josh Uche can't run up the arc a little bit, or do they just don't want him? You tell me. Because Josh Uche, they gave up real draft capital for him to do that, and then they're just like, I don't know. What if they run on 3rd and long? Like what? What are we
It
doing?
happened.
Okay. What
But
do you think
you know-
Josh Uche's done for Philadelphia?
I don't
Yeah.
know. He had like 2 sacks in the first 2 weeks, and like,
Yeah. And what do we think he's done?
but
Yeah, he
more,
disappeared now.
more sacks than Charles Omenihu probably. Like-
He disappeared like by like week 4.
I just well,
Now I think he's hurt now.
that's all they needed him was
I
for
think
4
he is
weeks,
hurt.
Maddie. They needed him for 4 weeks. That's all they needed him
got-
for.
He's got 1 sack,
Yeah.
1 pass defense, and 18 tackles, 3 QB hits.
Man,
Yeah, so
that's
it's like,
more
you know
QB
what I mean?
hits.
Like-
You know, I wonder what his pressure rate's probably up there with George. Sorry.
I want to say right now, his 2024 is better statistically than his 2025. We're ignoring the fact that most of his statistics in 2024 came with New England.
How
Not
did he
Kansas
have-
City.
It's almost equal amount of snaps too. So
Yeah.
How did he have 10 tackles? Was it all playing off ball against the Broncos?
probably.
He had 10 tackles as a Chief.
7 solo, man. Come on now.
I'm just saying, like, you know, everybody go. Not that you were, but people go to the Uche thing. But like, it's not like he's been good besides
say
with the
he's
Chiefs
been.
either.
I know. I
Yeah,
just it's hard for me to believe that they just give up draft capital willy-nilly, not get some level of approval. The whole thing was weird.
Yeah, I don't know how that worked out. There's
I don't either.
there's something going on there that doesn't make sense from any scenario.
And you know, like we still talk plenty about. We will continue to talk about this despectable thresholds for like the KCSN draft guy stuff, and because it's true and it's like consistent with the players that actually play. However, I do think there is some level of amenity to the right player. They are. I think there's in the building. They're a little bit more amenable to some types that don't fit everything. I don't know if they'll ever actually pull the trigger, but I think
They drafted BJ Thompson.
right. Yeah, they're I think there's a little bit of hold on. Matty, are you drinking a Red Bull? What was
No.
that? What is that?
Maddie doesn't drink.
I know.
soda
That's
or
why I was
energy
like, what are you
drinks.
drinking? What is it?
It's a
What's in the
seltzer?
box? It's a seltzer. Is it like a
Yeah, this is a grapefruit seltzer from Aldi.
okay? It looked like a skinny. It looked like a skinny.
Sponsor
Red Bull.
us.
So, no. Don't get Kent started on seltzers.
I have some
Please
takes.
don't. No, I know you have takes.
Look, let's get back to it. Waterloo is the best seltzer.
Stop.
Hmm.
It's better than LaCroix. Waterloo is better.
Well, yeah, LaCroix is incredibly mediocre.
How do you feel about Costco seltzers? Where do they rank?
They're pretty good. Certain flavors.
No, that's the scale.
They're pretty
Can
good.
we? That might be the scale this summer. The seltzer
That's
scale.
not local to Kansas City.
I don't care. Tucker's not having
The
possible.
that.
seltzer scale would be incredibly boring. You're talking about flavored water with TV static.
you know what?
And you're
I kind
saying
of
let's,
agree.
What
let's
are you
rank our
talking about?
position groups on this.
What are you talking
Yeah, I
about, Tucker?
agree.
This is the most riveting podcast content that we've had all year long, clearly.
No, I think I agree. I don't like that it's not local, and I don't like that. Yeah, it is like flavored carbonated water. That doesn't quite hit the same as the Italian scale or the burger
right.
scale or the gas station scale.
Or the
I'm not giving away secrets.
Zoo scale.
Zeus.
I have takes.
I thought you
Zoos
said
are local
Zeus
to
for
Kansas
a, I
City.
thought you said Zeus for a second, and I was like, okay, we're gonna put Travis
I
Kelsey
have
at the
takes
top.
on
We're gonna
either.
put the God in the second.
Orlando Brown Jr. third.
No, he's the last one.
Yeah.
Zeus, a dog named Zeus, is actually ahead of Orlando Brown Jr. Sorry, not sorry.
We're on to something.
Oh, brother, this guy
But no.
stinks.
It's not going to be the zoo or the Zeus scale. It's going to be something local to Kansas City again.
Or we couldn't do it.
Yeah, okay.
If maybe week 18 instead of game preview, we should just talk seltzers.
I feel like we've covered it enough on this podcast. We've beaten the seltzer conversation to death.
I do feel like we hit the top of the seltzer talk. Like there's not really much left out there. Like everybody knows grapefruit seltzers are the best flavors, and everything else follows in behind that. And that's about it.
No.
Did you wait?
Like to talk
did
about
you just equate the children
Titans?
liking grapefruit?
I'm saying
Children hate grapefruit.
I'm saying your palate is so narrow that you are picking the most.
Oh my!
generic.
You're about to hit me with something that has 18 different fruits in it, and I'm so out.
No. I'm just saying
Here's
every
bathwater,
Waterloo.
sea salt, cucumber, roof of your mouth taste.
Tucker is questioning his life right now.
We all are. Craig's
He's
so
not the
mad.
only one.
And honestly, the only reason I'm continuing the bit is because I can tell how much Craig hates it. Or I would have let it die a long time ago.
Craig is choosing to spend this time out of his life with us, and this is how we want to spend it. This is how we want to spend it, guys. Really.
Offensive preview time. We all ask one question.
Wait. Now we got to talk about the Titans? We're going to...
I think
That's how you want to spend it?
I think it's hilarious that the person that chugged alcoholic seltzers is like, okay, this is stupid.
That's different. You feel something. You feel something.
Kip feels something with seltzers. On to the Titans.
Titans don't make me feel anything.
It moved.
Neither do the Chiefs.
Okay. We're gonna get back on track.
Sure.
Maybe. I don't know. Throw my question up. I don't care. Just my turn. Do we see any tangible changes to the offense for Gardner Minshew? And what about experiments? Do they just like?
We're making soap.
I'm curious. Like, what are we getting this week? Like, are they going to modify it? Are we just going to see Gardner Minshew throw like a bunch of bubble RPOs? Are we going to see them run the exact same offense? Do they try to do some weird stuff because they can?
Did you see him throw?
It wasn't great.
That's a loft. That's not a throw.
Just throw out there throwing like Phillip Rivers.
Yeah.
Buddy, Phillip Rivers' throw radius is stunning. That we don't. They're not playing the Colts though, so they're playing a different AFC South team.
Would be more fun if they were.
I would. Oh my! I would love to watch that actually. I really do think that. I'm fascinated to see like what changes actually come with this offense to cater to Gardner. Do they try to cater to Gardner? Are they trying to give other players looks so they don't really care? Do they go under center for the entirety of the game? There's so many questions that I have, and it's more just built around just my curiosity with what we're getting with a Gardner Minshew led version of this offense. We've seen Andy piecemeal some things together with like a Matt Moore, a lot of quick game, and then they just like take a shot or two. How in his bag is Andy going to try to be for this one? And does anything really matter? That was my question.
I don't know if I want to do this.
I don't think they're going to change anything. That's my contribution.
I don't know if I want to do this.
Changes.
Give me the quick elevator pitch on what an offense catered to Gardner Minshew looks like, and tell me how it's any different than what the Chiefs have done all season.
Well,
you just said a lot of quick passes.
One big difference is like Gardner Minshew's ran a lot of mesh in his career, and I think they'll run that a little bit. No, I wonder what the A dot's going to be. And the game plan is to
probably the same as it's been this year.
I think it'll be lower, and I think it'll be a game plan with lower A dot throws in it. Like I really do. Either that, or they're gonna go do some wild stuff, and it's like Pacheco's direct snap handoff to Gardner, who pitches it back to Travis Kelce, who throws a
for a negative 9-yard loss.
But they're giving Travis his flowers and letting him have redemption with the passing game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm curious how weird this team gets with this, and how unserious they get with it, if I'm being honest. Anyways, that was my question.
Great question.
Thanks, Maddie.
Great question. Do you want mine? Throw mine
Yeah.
out. Okay. Tucker, how did the Chiefs stop Jeffrey Simmons?
He asked a real question.
I asked a real question so that I can say this. If the Kansas City Chiefs earlier this season were playing against this Tennessee Titans team, we would just be clowning on all of this. They got one good player on this side of the ball. They got a couple more than that. But yeah, we'd be clowning on them about how talent deficient they are and how they're a bad football team and just all these awful things. Do you know what you call a Kansas City Chiefs offense without Patrick Mahomes, Josh Simmons, Juwan Taylor, Jalen Moore, Trey Smith, potentially Rashee Rice, potentially Xavier Worthy, potentially Hollywood Brown. Who else am I mentioning? Potentially Noah Gray. He's on here as well. Tyquan Thornton. That's a worse than bad football team. Jeffrey Simmons might single-handedly ruin this game. And Gardner Minshew standing back there, having to call protections with Creed Humphrey, having to take on some of these different things, is just not going to handle that well. We've seen Gardner Minshew with interior pressure, played against Chris Jones plenty of times. Doesn't go well. This is just bad news. I think, Kent, you're over here trying to figure out, what are they going to do with the offense? Are they going to do anything differently? I don't think they can. I think that Jeffrey Simmons is going to be posted up 5 yards in the backfield in Gardner Minshew's face all game long. And that's not an indictment against Creed. That's an indictment against Mike Caliendo. So it's going to be bad. It's going to be so bad. I think we are going to be begging for the offense that we have seen this season that we've been just wanting to gouge our eyes out about, because it's going to be so awful and he is going to wreck this game single-handedly because, frankly, they just don't have anybody else that can do it.
Well, Craig, do I have good news for you? It sounds like Trey Smith is practicing, maybe, or isn't he not? Did I read that wrong? No,
I don't have a designation on the Chiefs website right now.
Dynamite.
Yeah, I thought I saw that. So, but
hey, but Marquise Brown was a full practice, even though not injury-related person.
Hold on. Let me go back.
I'm not sure how
I think I could be wrong. I think I might have read something else on that. So we're just going to redact that. Tucker's going to take it out and post.
No,
that was a great question.
No, he's not.
That was a great question, Craig. I really think that was a very smart thing for you to say, that Mike Caliendo might not be able to handle Jeffrey Simmons.
Thanks, Maddie. I appreciate you, buddy. What's your question?
Oh, I think I asked something about the running back room. Yeah, there has to be something more in this running back room, right? Right?
Nope.
I mean, there's got to be there's got to be something. It can't be the corpse of Mr. Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco running into his tight ends. There has to be something else. We've seen Elijah Mitchell suit up. No thanks. We've seen Brashard Smith try to run between the tackles. But I would be okay to seeing more of it. They signed Dameon Pierce to the practice squad. Hey, maybe it's worth elevating him and seeing what he can have. What is the goal? What are you going to get out of running Elijah Mitchell or running Mr. Kareem Hunt in this game? What are you going to get? I understand some guys want to keep playing and stuff. What is Mr. Kareem Hunt going to get from getting blasted 33 times in this game because they're running for 3 yards a carry? Right? There's not a lot in it for him. Maybe let somebody who's going to play for a job, let somebody that might be kind of auditioning for a role on this team next year. There just has to be something more.
Look, Andy hinted that Dameon Pierce might be on the Tyquan Thornton path where he joins the team late and then is part of the offense in 2026, so he can again be behind Kareem Hunt on the depth chart next year. Okay, so I just don't know if you're gonna get. I don't know if you're gonna get any Dameon Pierce here. I don't know how many times you really want to run, but Brashard Smith, period, let alone between the tackles.
Funny watching Minshew.
Do you guys know that the Titans are top 10 in success rate in the back half of the year against the run on defense?
Cool. The
No.
Chiefs are playing us. I have confirmed Trey Smith was a full participant today.
Yes,
Okay,
he was.
thank you. The Chiefs website just has a blank next to his name. It's great.
Blank space.
Players to watch.
Are there players to watch? Is there any players left?
Yeah, Asapole. Let's see. I'll go mine first. Asapole. Hey, go play well, buddy. I mean, seriously, put up a fight. Do what you can do. Again, you're thrust into this role. You're an undrafted guy, but you're playing for a spot next year. Show this organization that you are worth your roster spot this year. I mean, he's one of the few guys that actually does have something to gain in this game by going out there and having a good one. So, Asapole.
Maddie.
That's a good one. Okay, I got a good one. This one's a little bit under the radar, but I think we're going to walk. It'll make sense. Now, it'll be a little tricky, but I think you guys can figure it out here. I'm going to go with Rico Dowdle, the running back for the Carolina Panthers, because he's a free agent this upcoming year. And if you really want to watch something that matters on this upcoming Sunday, you're going to watch other teams instead of the Chiefs. Now, the problem is the Panthers play at the same time as the Chiefs. It's okay. 2 screens, get a computer up. Yeah, no big deal. You can do this, but watch Rico Dowdle because he's like, you got Breece Hall, you got Kenneth Walker, and then there's a gap, and then you got somebody else to fill the void of the middle-priced running back, and that might be Rico Dowdle. So get some eyes on him, so that way you can figure out when free agency rolls around if you want the Chiefs to sign him or not.
I am going to watch Jake Brenningstool's status for the next 3 weeks because he has returned to practice.
I thought I was doing the sickest thing.
Down bad.
It's at least mildly interesting that they open his practice window as soon as the season's over. I'm just going to be keeping a close eye on that one. I'm going to go for Jalen Royals and his snap count. I don't need to see anything. I just need to see snaps. Because Rashee Rice, Tyquan Thornton might be out entirely. And if that's the case, you might see Jalen Royals an active participant. And what better time to catch a bubble RPO from Gardner Minshew than in Nashville? I can't find a better one. Give him a touch.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. When you say bubble RPO, do you mean like the parabola coming out of Gardner Minshew's hand to get out there to the flats where Jalen Royal is standing?
Man, or is he going to blow bubbles?
Why are we just completely destroying poor Gardner Minshew? What has he done to you boys? This isn't Broderick Martin.
Because he sucks.
When we get to week 18, are we going to have to tell the Gardner Minshew Senior Bowl story?
Well, Gardner Minshew, here's the thing. Gardner Minshew is getting actively played by another team right now, so he doesn't play for them. So, there's that point as well.
Gardner Minshew is better than Carson Wentz.
Incredibly low bar. I mean, that is a low bar.
I'm not saying no, but I don't know if I'm agreeing based on what we've seen so far.
Craig, what's your question?
Question for defense. Throw it up, Chuck. Can the defense cover Chig Okonkwo? So, Kansas City Chiefs have been terrible against tight ends. Yes.
We should have made this a serious sandwich, and I asked something, then Craig asked something. It's okay.
No, I wanted to ask Craig to pronounce. What did Chig stand for?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm not doing that. That's his nickname. Look on his Instagram. He goes by Chig. I'm not.
I think I know it still. Is it Chigoziem?
Yes.
Is it Chigoziem or is it Chigoziem?
Chigoziem?
Yeah.
Okonkwo.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, Chiefs are terrible against tight ends. This is going to be a lot of 11 personnel because the Titans play a lot of 11 personnel when they're out there. That means that there's going to be a lot of nickel that the Chiefs are going to counter with. If Trent McDuffie is out, they're not going to trust their corners to be able to run with some wide receivers on the outside. It will be a lot less single high, too high structure, tight end. Who's that going to fall to? It's going to be a linebacker. I don't like this matchup for the linebackers, and they like to throw the ball to Chig. a lot. He leads the team in receptions right now for the Tennessee Titans. By the way, second is Gunnar Helm, their other tight end. They love throwing to their tight ends. They are going to target these Chiefs linebackers a lot. This could be a very, very, very long day, and he's a dynamic enough athlete to be able to run away from some of these guys. This is one of those situations that the Chiefs defense is still going to be playing a lot of guys up front that are starters for this team. And I worry that Cam Ward, who is, he's learning, he's a rookie, all of this offense is not very good, is going to look a lot better than we all are thinking that this offense is going to be, and it's just going to be through the tight end position. So I am terrified, frankly, of him just destroying starting level linebackers that have been paid by this organization because they can't cover.
Matt, your turn.
Yeah, I think that was a fair question. And my question kind of ties into that. So my question is, who really wants to start next year? Because we have been elevated to quit warning, baby. We are beyond quit watch. We are on quit warning. When they suit up, who is out there? Who is out there taking plays off? Who's just out there for a nice little stroll to collect a game check? And who's actually cares? Who actually is going out there playing their hardest, trying to win, right? Like I would assume Noel Williams is out there playing for a starting job next year, so I bet he tries hard. Jalen Watson's still trying to get that paycheck, so I bet he's playing hard. But what's Nick Bolton up to? He had a couple cracks in that game last week, but he didn't seem very fond of the contact that he took afterwards. I'm not saying that in a bad way, just he took some major hits. How willing is he to put his jaw on the line again when Chig is coming across the middle of the field, right? What are we going to do when Brian Cook, he's good, he's chilling. What are we going to do? Jaden Hicks, hey, buddy, you gonna make a play, or your feet gonna be stuck in cement again? Is Chris Jones gonna play at all? We don't know. George Karlaftis, you're making a lot of money to just do nothing besides run 15 yards up the arc when anytime there's a running back near you. So how many people really are quitting and how many people are trying? That's what I want to focus on right now.
Why did you say cement like that?
How do you say it?
Cement. I came off weird.
Sorry, what was that again?
Throw my question up.
Cement came off weird.
Throw my question up.
Just right there on the tip of his tongue. Does Spags torture Cam Ward with blitzes? Nobody knows. How is Spags also on quit watch or quit warning? That's the question.
A little bit. I think the only way the Chiefs have a chance to win this football game is if Spags just decides to unload the clip on Cam Ward and they just say, you know what? This team stinks. This O-line stinks. And this is a rookie quarterback. Welcome to the National Football League. Here's everything I was saving for those playoffs that didn't exist that I had to start using last week because our team stinks. So I really do think like that's the only real thing that I think can kind of just wreck this, like give the Chiefs a chance to win the game is if Spags just decides he just wants to, welcome Cam Ward to the league. And I think he has the Rolodex to do it. And they certainly don't have a lot of games to use it. So go ahead and if you want to go throw it at him and see what happens. Because I do think that I think he could put Cam Ward in a blender.
I mean, he's gonna have to. We've seen this defensive line against bad offensive lines. Still hasn't mattered, especially if Chris Jones is not going to play. Yeah, they got to blitz, and they got to blitz a lot. And who knows? Maybe we see more Christian Rolla-Wallace out of the slot blitzing. Maybe we see a little bit more, Jeffrey Bassa. Welcome to the NFL on the defensive side of the ball. Why don't you blitz in the A gap a few times here? I don't know. Try and get creative there. Still running the same sort of blitzes, but trying to get a look at some of these guys and what they can bring because, you're looking towards next year.
You'll get Mike Edwards off the edge, and you'll like it.
It's like watching
Hey,
Phillip Rivers throw.
He'll get there
The
eventually.
craziest part, we did this. He's 29 years old.
It's the same age as
Stop.
Maddie.
I know.
Players to watch. We got 3 more weeks of this.
Ashton Gelati. He's going to play hard.
Big
Maddie
lotto.
talked about guys playing hard. He's going to keep playing hard. And I'm glad he got some run on the podium this week after an interception. Good for you, young man. Go out there, try and do a little bit more there.
You
Maddie.
can't. Oh, me? Boye Mafe. This one's going to be easier to watch because he plays Thursday night against the Los Angeles Rams. You know, this is a player the Chiefs are reportedly a little interested in at the trade deadline, a little interested in coming out of the draft. So you want to tune in and see what Mafe is up to there for the Seahawks because I don't think he's going to re-sign there. They don't seem too keen on keeping him. So get some eyes on him early. So that way, once free agency rolls around here in a couple months, you're like, oh, I watched 3 games of that guy right there, and I know I want him on my team. Or hey, I know I don't want Boye Mafe because he can't defend the run. Spag's going to put him in the Joshua Uche doghouse. So you'll have a good idea on him. So you can watch him on Thursday night and then still have uninterrupted Chiefs/Panthers watching come Sunday.
Maddie's going to do his like draft players to watch for bowl games just for NFL like standalone games. Now
Yeah, he
free agents
wasted
to watch.
He wasted it at this point. There were too many bowl games this week. He shouldn't have gone whole hog into that.
The bowl games? Oh, buddy, don't you worry. We got plans.
Okay.
I'm scared. Najee Johnson's window is opened for his ability to return to practice as well. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on that. He's my player to watch for this game. No Williams. No point in not letting him cook now. Just let it eat, buddy. See what happens. I can't wait to find out about this. It is game prediction time. I'm very curious how this is going to go, Craig.
Kansas City Chiefs offense is going to struggle to move the ball. Tennessee Titans offense is going to struggle to move the ball. We're all going to hate ourselves for watching this. We're going to regret not watching it if you don't in about, June when we're all missing football again. So enjoy the last 3 weeks of the season, even if it is dreck. Chiefs win this purely on a couple of plays, just a couple. Maybe Ashton Gelati makes a play. Who knows? Maybe Jalen Royals makes a play just to get everybody all spun up here. I say Chiefs win this one 13-10.
Maddie.
My bad. You can just say, hey, Matt, it's your turn. I wasn't expecting it. Game prediction. Okay, Alabama over Oklahoma, Miami over Texas A&M, Ole Miss over Tulane, and Oregon in a blowout over James Madison. Thank you. Have a good first round of the college football playoff, the games that matter this weekend.
Go Dukes.
Titans 17, Chiefs 10.
And the Ravens. Ravens score. People want to know the Ravens score this week.
No. We're done with that bit. That bit's dead and gone, okay? That bit died 5 times ago because the Chiefs went ahead and broke the streak. That died so long ago.
Do you want the Chiefs to win? Real quick, do you guys want the Chiefs to win?
No.
Sure.
Okay.
They're not getting into like the top 7. They can lose out, and they're not getting into the top 7.
But there's a big difference between like 10 and 14,
15.
though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know. There's a big difference now. I guess. Yeah.
We are spoiled rotten.
Mm-hmm.
This is a 6-8 football team, and we are just like nothing matters. What's the deal? Respect to all those mid teams out there with the podcasters that have to talk about a team eliminated from the playoffs every single year.
They're seasoned. They have experience. They know what they're doing. We're flying by the seat of our pants here. We haven't had to do this. We're talking about seltzer waters.
Among other things.
I was not talking
What other
about
things?
seltzer waters in 2012.
What other things, Kent?
Give me-
Cement.
Give me Titans 17.
that got a
Titans
score prediction out of him.
Titans 17, Chiefs 13. Thanks. No.
Doug
Thank you,
Doug
Tucker.
said you're done.
We love you. We appreciate you. We'll catch you later.
From flavored water to cement.